Namaste. I'm Jill Loftus of New Astrology. I'd like to welcome you to your planetary energy forecast for the week of March 7th, 2022. This is another week we need to chat a little bit about Sunday before we can dive into Monday and the rest of this week, because on Sunday, the 6th, we have both Mars and Venus walking hand in hand to 0 degrees of Aquarius. Now, they just got finished meeting up with Pluto. Pluto is one of those energies that can fire early and also fire late. Like Saturn tends to fire a little bit later, but Mars energy can also fire a little early and a little late. So there still could be some repercussions of the energies going through the weekend, especially when a planet reaches the 29th degree. There's a real press to completion. And so the two of those planets coming through the 29th degree on Saturday and then moving into Aquarius on Sunday is going to be a little bit of a pressure cooker. Now, the good news is that they are moving into Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is a sign that tends to be very scientific. It's about the collective. It's about each unique, beautiful soul and its contribution to the bigger picture. And it has a very detached quality. I am thinking that this will maybe help this coming week be a week where it's a little bit more like, okay, let's step back and look at this in a little bit more of an analytical way, a little bit more of a future-oriented view of things. Now, at the same time that's happening, though, Mercury, which rules conversations, communication, expression, writing, is going to be wrapping up its journey through Aquarius. So, beginning of the week is where you want to kind of maybe get some of your more mental activities done, taken care of, because on Wednesday, we've got Mercury moving into Pisces. All right, so let's go back to that Aquarian energy. How to high vibe that? You high vibe that Aquarian energy by really looking at the big picture, looking at how you can have your own unique contributions to that future. Look at where Aquarius is in your chart and see that area of life is going to be highly activated here, because not only will Mars and Venus be moving into that sign, but we've already got Saturn here, right? And so it's kind of a get real moment for the Aquarius part of your chart, where what you don't want to do, the energy you don't want to cultivate is so detached that you don't care, or so concerned about what it does for everybody that you don't pay attention to what it does to the individual. All right. This can be a negative use of technology as well. So negative application of technology. So watch out for those types of themes and stick with a higher vibrational expression of those Aquarian qualities, right? And then I want to look at my notes. I've made some notes. Some of you have asked for a written accompaniment to these weekly forecasts, so I'm going to be working on that on the blog. But yeah, it's detached, but you don't want to be coldly calculating things, right? That's a good way to look at it. Now, another thing that will happen at the beginning of the week, we've got the moon going into Taurus, which is going to be great. It's going to be really interesting. Monday and Thursday have a really interesting synergy, because the moon's going to go into Taurus. It's going to touch Uranus, sextile Jupiter, sextile the Sun, square Saturn, and then sextile Neptune. And then on Thursday, when it moves into Gemini, it's going to square the Sun. It's going to trine the Saturn. It's going to square the Neptune. It's going to square, it's going to square the Pisces area of the chart. So at the beginning of the week, we start out with a blessing beam, and then Thursday, it kind of it's a little more of a stressor. So again, Tuesday, really pay attention to Tuesday. Whatever's going on with resources, money, what is valuable to you, the Tauran area of your chart is going to get some abundant blessings, and also some shocking probably events because of the moon Uranus. But then it will be tested on Thursday to see if they have the sticking power to really work. So definitely don't make rash decisions with anything related to money or resources, even though you may have some incredible opportunities that come up on Tuesday, Monday through Tuesday. But pay attention to that, because Thursday will be the reality check. All right, so you want to pay attention to that. All right, let's see. Let's talk a little bit about Mercury going into Aquarius on Wednesday. So again, there'll be this push to completion as it moves to the 29th degree. It gets to 0 degrees of Pisces. So when it enters Pisces, all of a sudden it's much more confusing. Mercury doesn't really like being in Pisces, even though it can be inspired and connected and just spend some deep time in the subconscious. It can also get lost. It can literally like drown in that Piscean watery energy. So there can be almost like just a lack of communication, not clear communication. The mind can become a little fogged out. Look at where Pisces is in your chart. And remember, Pisces is powerful right now. We've got the sun there. We've got Neptune there. We've got Jupiter there, right? And so a little bit of added Aquarian, or I'm sorry, Mercurial energy to that. The trickster, right? The trickster has arrived into the Piscean area of the chart. So it's really hard, it's like you take a handful of water. How do you make it solidified? How do you bring it down? How do you make it stable? You've just got to keep yourself grounded. So as you come into Wednesday through the next several weeks, staying grounded is going to be oh so essential. And the thing is with Uranus in Taurus and the nodes and things like that, like all the things that you thought were stable and sure are not going to be. And so you have to ground to the small things that you can ground to in your own personal life. My favorite ways to ground: lay down on the ground, like literally, roll out your yoga mat, just lay there. Hug a tree, connect to something earthy. Eat foods that were grown in the ground, like potatoes and carrots, things that actually have come out of the dirt. Get outside, dig in the dirt, connect to nature. Nature always figures it out. Nature has a way. We humans, we tend to overthink it. And you can also use this energy just to be inspired. Be inspired by the possibilities of what's occurring, and don't fall into despair, because that could also be a real shadow side of the Piscean energy. All right. Then we got Thursday, the 10th. Another thing to note about the 10th is that the moon, at least on the East Coast, voids out at 11:43 a.m. And so the rest of the day might be a little drifty. It's going to be a little harder to solidify things. And then as we get into the weekend, the 13th is a really big day. All right. So the 13th, we've got the moon in Cancer, and the moon is going to flow beautifully with Neptune. It is going to be right across the sky from Pluto, though. And at the same time, the sun is going to conjunct Neptune. All right, this is a big turning point day. I'm really looking at it that way. Mars is still going to be conjunct Venus at 6 degrees. We've got a gorgeous trine and sextile from the sun to the nodes. There's a way through. There's a way through the problems. And Sunday is just going to be such a great day for you to really be inspired, to really be in your feelings, to honor your intuition. So again, you could tumble down into the depths of Piscean despair and anguish. The 12th house is Pisces. It's your self-help or self-undoing. It's the deepest, darkest hour, which is what gives you that strength, right? It's that understanding of the darkness that helps you appreciate the light. It's the harder things you've been through that gave you the skill set to tackle things now. And so dig deep within yourself for the positive resources, the positive use of your emotions. It could definitely be a day to be overwhelmed or taken into the undertow of the collective, right? So when you feel that undertow, it's up to you individually. It's up to me individually to lift that vibration, to spiritualize it. Don't distract, get lost, Netflix and chill or whatever, really pay attention to what your deep inner self needs. Definitely a weekend to watch substances. Be careful of anything that you would take or consume, whether it be, something you ingest through your mouth or something you take in through the eyes or the ears. Another great way to work with a lot of Piscean energy like this is to find really inspirational talks to listen to really pay attention to the music content that you consume, because it just impacts you so deeply, right? Every musical note has a cosmic expression, a vibration. Every song that you sing, even like you can, say, oh, I love that song, but the lyrics are terrible. It's like, whoa, you're imprinting that into your consciousness. Like, lift it up, get it up there, high vibe it. It's the only way to get through these next few challenging months. I would watch anything symbolically that occurs in the Piscean area of your chart, because Pisces energy is just going to be so hyper focused. Oh, and there was one more thing I wanted to mention. On Thursday, I talked about Thursday, the moon being void. Another interesting thing is that day, Pluto goes to 28 degrees, right? Pluto is marching down to the very end of Capricorn, which is part of why we're seeing these last gasps of the old power structure, desperately trying to hang on to what they've had, desperately trying to prop things up. In our lifetime, Pluto has never made it to 28 degrees. Those of you who are Capricorns, you can be getting ready to graduate from Pluto University in a year and a half. But for now, we have the next level of lessons coming in that Capricorn area of our chart, the late degrees of Capricorn. All right, well, thank you so much for hanging in there and listening to my entire video. Those of you who are new to the channel, especially those of you who saw me on the Nadia Shah video, I welcome you. I'm so grateful to have you here. Please do check out the playlists. I have a weekly planetary energy forecast. I do a monthly planetary energy forecast. And I also have a lot of videos on spirituality and other topics. I do have on my website now a free introduction to tarot that has 5 tarot videos for you. They're free. Just take it. There's a little download on, a little manual on how to pick out a deck for yourself. But my free offering to you so that you can begin to tap into your own intuition, your own angels, guides, and teachers. Truly, as above, so below, as within, so without. The only way to change this world meaningfully is to change ourselves. And that's hard. Change is hard, even if it's good. All right. Well, namaste. I'll see you next time.